Here's the filter system that I built for my pond. It sits right next to the grow beds. Right there, you can see the tomatoes here in the middle. Those are peppers. Thought I'd give a quick tutorial of how this works and explain it and everything like that and show it. So this is the primary filter. It's called a pressurized radial flow filter. And what happens is, you can see the smaller 1/2-inch tube here. The water goes in here, and I'm going to open it up and show this. It hits a T, causing it to rotate, hence the term radial flow, which then ends up filtering out solids mechanically because they fine out down to the bottom. And that's going to take a long time to drain, but I will show it. So that's actually where the water returns back to the pond. That's a 3/4 inch line that goes back. So the water doesn't look clean, but you know, the majority of the particles are filtered out in that way. So then they settle to the bottom, which is why this is here. This is a drain valve that sits all the way at the bottom, and I'll show how it works here. I'm going to open it and you will see, hopefully. No. All right, so there is nothing really settled to the bottom. Well, you can see maybe a little bit of particle going through there. Not very much settled at the bottom, causing it to or that needed to be cleaned. I actually just opened this a little bit ago. I didn't think that there'd be anything in there. So then what this is, and this flows, I'll close that valve back off. This is the biodigester, which is not pressurized. You see there's a relief hole right here. I only have it covered because you really don't want sunlight to get to this stuff, because that's how you get algae really bad. Oh, I don't need this actually fastened down on, but I did it anyway. I thought originally this would be pressurized, but I realized it can't be because there is a really aggressive air stone in there. Yeah, it's actually not as aggressive as I hoped it would be, but what it does is it does two things. It aerates the water, obviously, and all of this in here holds the bacteria that digests, you know, whatever's in there, the dead tadpoles, the fish poop, all that. And beneath that, there's a bunch of ceramic material that serves the same purpose. And the aerator, like I said, it forces air up through that, which ideally is sort of supposed to churn it up and chew it, so to speak. And then you can see the return line right there. It's underwater because it's not pressurized. So it actually has to flow uphill a little bit. I buried this a little too deep. It's buried for two reasons. Obviously to get it beneath that, and this is up on cinder blocks, but then I kind of ran out of room. So this doesn't have much elevation above the pond. So that's why it doesn't return very well. And that's why I wanted to pressurize it, but then I realized I couldn't because of the aerator. It was starting to burn out the air pump because it was trying to, you know, it had to, you can actually hear it work a little harder when I put the lid back on. So anyway, now you can see that it's drained, that those are opposing one another, which causes it to rotate in a clockwise direction. They're at a 45-degree angle relative to the T right there. And like I said before, what happens is the crap and stuff floats to the bottom, or sinks to the bottom, and the water, as it's clean, comes up to the top. Let's see now that it's kind of settled out if anything comes out. No, still pretty clean. So that's how it works.